Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Abdul Hassan. I'm here with another video. Man, I got a special treat for you guys today. I'm gonna show you guys how to be able to get anything removed off your credit report. Late payments, charge-offs, collections, bankruptcies, repossessions, whatever it may be. I'm gonna show you guys how to be able to do it, and I'm also gonna show you guys how to do it in 14 days or less. Now let's go ahead and get into this video right now. One thing you really have to understand about your credit report and just your overall credit score, right, is that these credit bureaus, they're in the business of making money, right? So they have to be able to follow the rules because of the fact that there's a Fair Credit Reporting Act, which again was passed in 1971, and this was just passed by Congress to make sure that all the players in the credit ecosystem are actually playing by the rules, right? So if they're going ahead doing something wrong or reporting misinformation or inaccurate information, then it has to be removed, right? So items can only come off your credit report by two methods, right? So the first method is going to be if it's inaccurate, right? Again, if it's inaccurate by one letter, one number, whatever it may be. For example, you guys have a Camry SE, right? And the credit report says a Camry LE. That difference between an L and an S is the reason why it has to come off, right? And the second way that items can get removed off your credit report is if they're unverifiable, right? Which means that basically the credit bureaus cannot verify that indeed you guys were the ones behind that credit account or applying for that loan, applying for that card, or even behind that computer. So really it's important to understand that the credit bureaus have that burden of proof on them to prove that you guys were actually the ones that applied for that account, or it actually is your account, right? I really want you guys to hold on to this because a lot of misconception is going around in regards to this, but items can be removed off your credit report. Another thing I want you guys to realize is that if you guys have late payments or any type of, even if it's open or even it's closed, right? I want you guys to remove those off of your credit score because late payments really hurt your score a lot. Payment history is about 35% of your credit score. So once you guys get those late payments removed, even if the account's open or closed, right? If you guys have a late payment on a house, a car, a loan, whatever it may be, even if it's open, I want you guys to remove that account. Just because you guys remove it off your credit report, it doesn't let you off the hook from the financial responsibility from having to pay off that loan, whatever it may be, right? So at the same time, they're not gonna take the car, they're not gonna take the mortgage, they're not gonna take that money back from the loan, right? But at the same time, it's not gonna be hindering your credit report. It's also not gonna be lowering your credit score down. And that's really important once you guys wanna get access to other limits of credit cards, loans, and even just credit in general, right? So it's really, really important that we really understand how this actually works and how the credit dispute process works. Now, the first thing I want you guys to do is go ahead and get a copy of your free credit report, right? You guys can get a free annual credit report from my freeannualcreditreport.com. You guys can also sign up for Experian.com, Equifax.com, and TransUnion.com. They're actually obligated to give you guys one free credit report. I think with the COVID pandemic, they were actually doing one free credit report every 7 days to make sure that you guys were staying on top of your credit. Now, I know a lot of people, they look at Credit Karma and they think that their credit score is actually accurate when they look at Credit Karma. First of all, Credit Karma actually boosts your credit score up 20 points, and it actually just kind of like not a real score, right? And Credit Karma only has Equifax and TransUnion. And the other thing is that you guys can be able to see the account number and also other pertinent information that you guys are going to need in order to be able to dispute it. You need to be able to see the whole account, right? The date, the balance, all of the different times that it got reported, the months and all that. So if there's a charge off or a late payment, you want to know which month it actually got reported as far as being late, right? So that's a really big factor. So I want you guys to go ahead and get a free copy of your credit report. And if you guys can see, this is how an actual credit report should look like. And this is what you guys should be looking for whenever you guys are analyzing your credit report and reading it to make sure that there's no inaccuracies on your credit report. So if your credit score is really down right now, or you guys have had a late payment or anything like that, don't worry, I'm gonna show you guys exactly what steps that you guys need to take in order to actually boost your credit score up and get you guys back up to that great score of having great credit. You always wanna make sure that your credit is intact because you never know when opportunities will present itself. Now, I wanna go ahead and jump into the credit laws, right? Now, at the same time, I want you guys to realize that these credit bureaus have to play by the rules. So I'm gonna show you guys exact laws that we're going to be using against the credit bureaus to make sure that they're actually not taking advantage of you and that those credit accounts have to be removed. Let's go ahead and jump into this next section of this video, and I'll show you guys the exact credit laws that we're going to be using in order to get any item removed. I don't care if it's whatever it may be, it's going to get removed, and we'll make sure that you guys have your credit score boosted up high. So I have my iPad pulled up with all the different laws that we're going to be talking about. It's going to be 3 different laws that we're going to be talking about. I know my stuff, but at the same time, this is just stuff that you guys can Google, so we really don't have to be able to, you know, just fill our brain with all this jargon. So let's go ahead and get into it right now. So the first law that we're going to be talking about, right, is going to be 15 USC 1681 section 602 number 4, right? And number 4 is going to be this subsection, right? So basically what that is, this is chapter 1. It's going to be the law to privacy, right? Which states that there is a need to ensure that consumers reporting agencies exercise their grave responsibilities with fairness, impartiality, and respect for the consumer's right to privacy, right? So again, we're going to go ahead and read over it one more time because I really want you guys to understand that the power lies with the consumer. That's us, right? And these credit bureaus, they have to play by the rules, right? So there's a need to ensure that the consumer reporting agencies exercise their grave responsibilities with fairness, impartiality, and respect for the consumer's right to privacy. So you guys have the right to privacy. And let's go ahead and get into law number 2 that we're going to go ahead and see. So the second law is going to be 1681 subsection C, right? And which states that subject to subsection C, any consumer reporting agency may finish a consumer report under the following circumstances and no other, in accordance with the written instructions of the consumer to whom it relates, right? So basically what this states is that anything that's on your credit report has to be in accordance with your consumer rights. So basically they have to follow the rules and they have to be able to get you guys that result that you guys really want and make sure that they're doing their due diligence, right? Because at the end of the day, if they're not doing their due diligence, they're going to go ahead and get in trouble. Again, the credit bureaus are only business for profit. And the third law we're going to be talking about is going to be 15 USC subsection 23, responsibilities of data furnisher of information to consumer reporting, right? Now what data furnisher means is basically just lenders or anybody that you have a credit account with, right? Those are the actual people that are furnishing that data to the credit bureaus, right? So basically what that means is that the credit bureaus have to be able to make sure that the people that are reporting this information, which are these companies, right, are actually reporting accurate information. Now let's go ahead and get into the rest of the law right now. So what this states is that reporting information with actual knowledge of error, persons shall not finish any information relating to a consumer to any consumer reporting agency if the person knows or has reasonable cause to believe that the information is inaccurate. So like I mentioned previously in this video, items can get removed off your credit report as if they're inaccurate. And the credit bureaus have to make sure that the information that they're getting to be reported on your credit report has to be accurate. So basically what these 3 laws states is that you guys have the power, right? So don't ever think that the credit bureaus are having the edge on you guys or anything like that. We as consumers, due to the power that Congress has given us, right, actually have the power to be able to know exactly what's on your credit report. And if any item is inaccurate, it has to be removed. Now you guys might be asking yourself, well, Abu, you just like stated all these laws or whatever, but how does that help us in getting items removed off your my credit report? Now if you guys have disputed previously, right, and items have been coming back as verifiable, meaning that the credit bureaus were actually able to verify this information was indeed yours, I'm going to show you guys this backdoor method that allows you guys to be able to make sure that the credit bureaus are getting these items removed. And what this backdoor method is called the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, right? The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB as is better known as, is actually the regulatory agency that Congress and the government has placed to make sure that these credit bureaus are playing by the laws, right? And so if they don't go ahead and play by the laws or respond to your dispute or whatever that may be, say they take 30 days or actually having items that are verifiable but indeed they're actually not yours, then they have to make sure that they go ahead and remove those accounts, because CFPB will find these credit bureaus and CFPB does not play. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on my laptop and show you guys how to be able to do this and get any items removed. Let's go. All right guys, so this is actually going to be the method that we're going to be using in order to get any items removed. Again, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, as you guys can see right here. So CFPB is actually responsible for regulating these credit bureaus and making sure that they're playing by the laws, right? So you guys can see right here, it's the agency of the United States government responsible for the consumer protection in the financial sector, right? As you guys can see, this is the website right here. I mean, most of the things you really don't have to do. What you guys are going to want to click on is submit a complaint, right? And so basically what this does, right, is send it out to all the credit bureaus and then basically kind of tell them like, hey, what's going on? Like if Abu submitted the dispute, make sure you guys are taking care of this. All right, so if you don't have an account, I would definitely recommend that you guys get an account, because just in case anything comes on your credit report later on, you guys definitely want to make sure that you guys have an account and records of this. So just go ahead and submit an account. I'm going to go ahead and log in and I'll see you guys in the portal, okay? So I'm logged in right now to the portal and I went ahead and started a new complaint, right? And so this is the items that we're going to be clicking, right? We're going to go ahead and go into credit reporting right here. And then we're going to click on credit reporting down here as well. So it's going to be, we're going to go ahead and use improper use of your report, right? So after that, we're going to go ahead and click on reporting company, use your credit report. improperly, right? So basically, they didn't give us the resolution that we wanted, right? And then after this, we're going to go ahead and say, have you already tried to fix this problem with the company? Yes, we have, because we already tried to dispute it, right? So basically, they want to know what happened, right? And what you did to go ahead and get this removed off your credit report, right? And so what we're going to do, like I mentioned previously in this video, we had those laws that are actually going to be to our advantage. So we're going to go ahead and put these laws in here, and I will show you guys how to do it. And also, I'll include the laws in the description below. So don't worry, guys, I got you. All right, so as you guys can see right here, I also include this in the description below, so don't worry if you guys missed this. I'm gonna go ahead and read it to you guys so we go ahead and go over it and actually know what we're actually putting, right? So basically what we're doing, right, is using these laws against the credit bureaus, right? I mean, that's the beauty of America, right? So basically right here, it says, in accordance with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, right, which again was passed in 1971 by Congress to make sure that the credit bureaus, everybody in the credit ecosystem is playing by the rules, right? So the list of accounts below has violated my federally protected consumer rights to privacy and confidentiality under 15 USC 1681. Again, the power lies within us as the consumer. Most people don't know this, and that's why a lot of items aren't getting removed. But we have to realize that we're actually the people that make the credit bureaus even in business, right? So we have the right to go ahead and dispute any inaccurate information. So right here, we're going to go ahead and put the account name and the account number, right? That's exactly why I didn't want you guys to use Credit Karma. So go ahead and get a free credit report from any of the services that I actually listed in previously in this video that you guys can go ahead and get. And that's why you guys are going to need that credit report in order to be able to actually see the account name and the account number. This is important. I don't care, again, if it's 10, 15, even 20 accounts, right? However, hard inquiries, we're not going to go ahead and put this in. This is going to be only for accounts that are inaccurate or anything like that. So this is just a sample right here. Don't go ahead and put this right here. Actually put your actual account name, whatever that may be. Say if you had a credit account with Chase, right, and basically it was inaccurate or there was some late payments or whatever that may be, go ahead and put Chase and then put the account number that they have listed on there, right? And so basically this kind of states that these have violated my rights and we're not going to put any hard inquiries. We're only going to put accounts here, right? I'm going to go ahead and read out the rest of this to show you guys which laws we're actually going to be using in order to get these items removed off the credit report. So the first one right here, 15 USC 1681 section 602A, which states that I have the right to privacy. So you guys as consumers have the right to know what's on your credit report and also the ways that they were able to manage to get that on your credit report, right? Now, the next law is going to be 15 USC 1681 section 604A section 2. It also states a consumer's reporting agency cannot furnish an account without my written instructions, right? So they can't go ahead and put an account on your credit report without you guys being able to give them permission, right? Because at the end of the day, again, we're the consumers, the power lies within us, right? And that's because of the laws that they actually have in place due to the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And the next law that we're actually going to be using is going to be 15 USC 1681C. A5. Section states that no consumer reporting agency may take any consumer reporting containing any of the following items of information, any other adverse item of information other than records of convictions of crimes which antedates the reporting by more than 7 years, right? So basically what this means is that any negative items on your credit report can only stay on there for 7 years, right? And so the next law that we're going to be using, the final one right here, is going to be 15 USC 1681 S2A1. A person shall not furnish any information relating to the consumer to any consumer reporting agency if the person knows or has any reason cause to believe that the information is inaccurate. Basically, if we have a reason to believe that it's inaccurate, and we do, right, basically it has to be removed, right? And so after this, you guys can go ahead and say if you want to publish it to CFPB so other people can learn from it. If you don't, you don't. I usually don't, so I just keep it pushing and just go forward, right? So the next part is actually going to ask you guys, what would be a fair resolution to this issue, right? And what we're going to put right here is going to be delete all of these inaccurate accounts. So that's simple, cut and clean. Just delete all of the inaccurate accounts, right? That's the resolution that we want. We want these items to be removed as quickly and as smoothly as possible, right? And so right here, we're going to go ahead and upload all of the attached documents that you guys sent, right? So if you guys went ahead and send out letters and certified mail, like I mentioned in some of my other videos, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys go ahead and check out that video. It's definitely helpful. So basically just make sure that you guys go ahead and upload all of that documentation. If you guys were a victim of identity theft, include that, include your dispute results. And also too, if you guys have sent it out certified mail and you guys have that slip with the tracking, right? I'll also include that. Take a picture of that so the CFPB actually knows that you guys actually delivered it, and also keeps track of that date that they delivered it, right? Because if the credit bureaus take longer than 30 days, that's the allotted time that they actually have under the laws, right, to be able to dispute items. So if they actually took longer than 30 days, you guys can be able to get those items removed because they're not actually following the rules. Let's go ahead and get to the next section. So this section right here is basically just naming out the credit reporting companies, right? We're going to list out all 3 credit bureaus, right? Again, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. I'm going to show you guys exactly how they're actually mentioned right here. So they have, as you guys can see, they have multiple companies, right? They have a lot of subsidiaries. What we're going to use right here is going to be Experian Information Solutions Incorporated, right? And then basically this is going to be to identify us, to make sure that they actually have the right credit report. So we're going to go ahead and put your social security number, name as it appears on your credit report, and your date of birth, right? And so you want to complain about another company. And yes, we do, right? Because we have 2 other companies that we're going to go ahead and complain about, right? And so the additional company that we're going to do, and we're going to do Equifax. Now, Equifax right here is going to be Equifax Information Services, LLC right here. And so have you already tried to fix this problem with this company? Yes, we have. So as you guys can see right there, yes, we have. And then again, same thing that we did previously to make sure that they have the right credit report and that they're actually going ahead and submitting the complaint on your behalf and not getting somebody else mixed up in the mix, right? So again, name as it appears, date of birth, all that, type in all that information. And then the last one we're going to do is TransUnion, right? So again, we have one more company. We're going to do TransUnion right here, right? So TransUnion, and this TransUnion is going to be TransUnion Intermediate Holdings Incorporated right here. That's the one that we're going to be using to make sure that they actually have the right TransUnion, right? And so have you already tried to fix this problem with this company? Yes, we have, because we already sent out the dispute, and when basically they're taking long or whatever it may be, the items are still not removed. So we need a resolution that's in our favor. So have you tried to fix this problem with the company? Yes, I have. And then again, same like the last one, make sure that they don't get anybody mixed up with your credit report, right? Name as it appears and the date of birth, right? And after that, we're going to go into the next one. So right here, this is the last part right here before you guys submit the complaint. It's going to ask you guys who you're submitting the complaint for. So basically, you're going to go ahead and put that you guys are submitting it on your behalf. And after that, it's just going to go ahead and run you down a summary of all the items that you guys put on the CFPB complaint. And then you guys are just going to go ahead and submit it, right? And basically, that's how it goes. All right, guys, so I just showed you guys some really secret sauce on how to be able to get that items removed on your credit report in literally 14 days or less, right? So after you guys submit the complaint, right, basically CFPB will reach out to all the credit bureaus to make sure that they're going ahead and actually doing their due diligence and reporting that information accurately, right? So it's going to take about 14 days, and again, you'll get notified. If you guys get an email saying that CFPB has actually closed the complaint, don't worry, it's working. This just takes time. So just make sure that you guys have done all this correctly and follow the steps. If you guys need to rewatch the video, I definitely highly recommend to do so. Now, Abu, how do we remove the hard inquiries? Oh man, we're gonna have to go ahead and wait on that. I'm actually gonna be dropping a video on how to be able to dispute your hard inquiries, and we'll go ahead and get after it in the next video. So if you guys found this video valuable and you got a lot of gain from this information, please make sure that you guys do me a big favor and subscribe and tap the bell notifications below to get updated on all the new videos that we're gonna be dropping. And we're going crazy, man. This is the best YouTube channel out here. Let's go.